Yo, so today I'm gonna be talking about some shit that's been getting on my nerves since I started One Piece, and it's only getting worse as time goes on. But first, let me preface this video by saying I feel like absolute dog shit right now. I have a goddamn fever, I haven't eaten in like 3 days, so if I seem a little bit low energy or it seems like something missing, that's why. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about the one fucking OG Straw Hat that just gets left out of fucking everything, and he has so much potential but zero development. Just me saying that probably puts 2, 3, or 4 people in your head. I'd say it's probably Brook, Frankie, Usopp, and probably Chopper, just because they seem a little stagnant or whatever. But believe it or not, I'm gonna be talking about fucking Usopp here. I've dick-ridden Usopp in the past, and you know, that shouldn't be that much of a shock. I have a thing for fucking losers in fiction. But this fucker has been with us since the second goddamn arc of the show, literally like episode 8 or 10 or some shit, yet he's still 90% the same guy. Let me go over the whole real character of Usopp, and then I'll explain why I feel like he's being fucking shafted. So we meet Usopp way back in chapter 23, and he has a whole pretty horrible arc centered around him. But the main thing about Usopp is that he lies, hence his Pinocchio-ass nose. He's the king of cap. And he just is a scrawny-ass kid, and he has a good-ass heart, but he just isn't strong enough to do anything. So he compensates for his lack of strength with lying. Also, I must add, Usopp is the most fucking One Piece-ass character appearance-wise. We will never see a fucking guy in any other anime that will look like Usopp. He looks fucking ridiculous. Look at him. He looks stupid as fuck. He also has a very Buggy-like charm to him. And by that I mean he's just a lucky little bitch, and he always gets, you know, Oda doesn't love him, but he has good luck, is what I'm trying to say. But all that aside, a lot of people find Usopp annoying, and it's pretty understandable why. He doesn't offer much on the battlefield, and he can be a little bit obnoxious. Usopp is also pretty heavily tied in with one of Luffy's endgame goals, which is meeting up with Shanks and the Red Hair Pirates. Usopp's fucking father is one of the top guys on the strongest crew in the world, so I think the logical conclusion that most people would come to is that Usopp is probably going to be pretty fucking OP someday as well, but that just isn't the case, at least so far. We don't see any true development from Usopp until Water 7 in any slobby. This is where Usopp kind of takes my fucking heart away. So Usopp gave the Straw Hats his little girlfriend's boat back in the day, and the boat breaks down and they gotta get rid of it and get a new one. Usopp does not fuck with that idea whatsoever and fights to repair the boat and just fucking stick with it until the wheels fall off. I just love this from Usopp because it seems like he has his own morals and ambitions that he isn't willing to bend or sacrifice for anybody. Something like that never happens for the rest of the fucking story. I mean, something kind of similar happens to Sanji, but it just really says a lot about Usopp as a person and how fucking big his heart is. He's gonna stick up for what he fucking believes in no matter what. But after that, our boy gets kicked out of the crew, of course, after getting fucking one-tapped. And then the legendary persona of Sogeking appears. Sogeking is like everything what Usopp wishes he could be. The fucking brave warrior of the sea, or whatever his little dream is. Usopp, or Sogeking, my bad, did like the most fucking bold thing you could possibly do in declaring war with the world government by shooting down the fucking flag. That's some nutty shit. But unfortunately, Usopp is just kind of forgotten about for the rest of pre-time skip. But I don't think that's too egregious because the rest of pre-time skip is mainly focused on Luffy, so Oda gets a pass on that. Post-time skip is where I can really fucking crucify this little genius. So Usopp pulls up to Sabaody jacked as fuck, which kind of symbolizes that he's no longer the scrawny little kid, and now he has the appearance of this brave warrior of the sea that he so badly wants to be. But the problem here is that his personality doesn't change a single fucking bit, not even a tiny little sliver. He is the exact same guy we met back in Syrup Village. Usopp doesn't get any real buffs outside of his little plants shit until fucking Dressrosa. It's a pretty nasty ass buff. The fucking observation hockey shit goes pretty hard. But the problem is, he never gets to use it. He never gets the opportunity to. He, as the sniper of the crew, he should have the best observation hockey out of anybody. Usopp has not been in a real 1v1 fight since maybe like Fishman Island or some shit. I could be wrong on that because Fishman Island was just, it was kind of a blur to me. It was either Thriller Bark or Fishman Island. I'm sticking with that. He has all of the potential in the world, but he's just so goddamn stagnant. Obviously, I think the inevitable Elbaf arc will do a lot for Usopp and hopefully boost him up into like top 5 Straw Hat stratosphere in terms of strength, but it's just pretty wrong of Oda to neglect him for this fucking long. He's an OG. He hasn't had really any type of in-depth backstory outside of Syrup Village shit. It's just, it's fucked up. It's fucked. It's a goddamn shame that somebody like this who has so much potential is just thrown to the side. He's getting like the Shanks treatment almost, or like the fucking Mihawk treatment. Usopp isn't one of these guys. He's not mysterious. We see him every day. He's just a guy that we live with. Why is he so weird and mysterious? I don't get it. I feel like Usopp kind of represents a normal person in the One Piece world, and it'd be dope as fuck if he somehow becomes like super strong with like Batman utility gadget shit in his own unique little way, you know, with his like tactics and shit. He has, you know, kind of shown that he excels in that kind of shit with his fight with Luffy. He doesn't have any crazy buffed speed or strength. He's just a normal guy with a slingshot and weird ass plant seeds. Unfortunately, I just can't see Usopp ever getting quite the spotlight that he did back in Water 7 and Enies Lobby ever again. I think those days just might be over, but I can fucking hope, man. At least Usopp never went through the fucking pussification that Chopper went through. Dude went from a fucking reindeer boy to a stuffed animal in 2 years. But yeah, that's about it. Again, sorry if this video was a little stale or whatever. I'm fucking fevered, right? So I'm a little delirious right now, but I gotta get a video out somehow. Next week, I have a plan for a pretty dope-ass video that I think should be pretty fucking fun to make, though. But yeah.